Cie alisra of kalanair. Minä sivaloi. Ne vara očiai. Minä svaloi. Valoi. Ne rovo ostojai. Ie tiestä.
Hi guys to everyone, I'm Ada from Poison Rock and today we give a huge welcome back to our friend and sister Kati Ràn. It's a pleasure to have you with us, Kati. First of all, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's very nice to be back here with you. I think it's about almost exactly 1 year ago.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah,
And we have a guest of honor as well, Jaani. So,
Moi moi, how are you doing, guys?
we are doing good. We choose a specific date for this interview about under the full moon eclipse, whatever.
Of course.
So it's a particular interview. I want to start first about speaking a little bit, updating me and Katya about what happened this year that we didn't speak, because you are involved in so many musical projects, and of course about your music. There's so many to talk about, but mainly just to really go brief, what happened in this whole year?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Well, when you say I'm involved in a lot of projects, it's only helping other bands sometimes. For example, with some coordination work or designing some body paint. I did that last summer for the group Nebala from Jonas Lorenz.
Nebala, that's amazing.
Yeah. So it's more like being like, how do you call that? The janitor, just doing lots of side stuff. And then also I worked on doing a new single, Hefring, and that's actually how I got to meet Jaani, that sort of happened quite naturally, because we got in contact through a playlist. I discovered his music through a music industry person who also sort of pitched it, and I loved it like instantly. And it was one of the first things where I thought, this is something else. This is really special. I haven't heard something like this in years. So I basically added it to the playlist, and then Jaani reached out like, hey, that was cool, thanks. And then we started to chat on the single, and I asked him if he could mix it for me and help me with it to finalize it.
So you started as you can say help collaboration, and then you get involved in the other project, the main project that we're speaking about tonight, which is IANAI. And here you come, Jaani. What could you say about that? I mean, how started this, we can say, particular project, almost ethereal project?
Yeah. You want to know about the beginning of IANAI?
Of course.
Well, it was kind of an accident. I wasn't planning to do anything like that. But then it just started happening, and I started writing really weird material, and I was like, well, what's going on? But it was so much fun. So I did few demo tracks, and I was really amazed, because I've never done anything like that. I don't listen to that kind of music either. So I just started creating, and then I did these few demos. And I wanted to play them to few friends in the music industry, just to get some feedback. Like, is there any point to do this kind of music? Because I just did it. I don't know why. And all of these guys happen to be record label A&Rs, and they all wanted to sign me right away. I was like, okay, never seen this happening before.
Yeah, it was becoming a real project then, basically, from demo to something bigger.
Yeah, but I just saw how excited they were. I'm like, okay, maybe there is something special going on. And then I did signed a record deal and started working with the album. So it was really natural, but I wasn't planning anything like that. I was going to work with totally different kind of project with my own music. But yeah, then this happened.
So and there was the release of Sunir.
Yeah, then Sunir came out, but it took me quite a few years, you know, to get that.
Yeah.
It was huge project, and to be honest, after I was done with the album, I was so exhausted that I had to like breathe for 2 years and get my shit together before I could release it, because it's a massive album, and
And as
it
well,
took
even
so much.
the sound, because as well it comes natural ask, but it comes all the influences, even the sound itself. I don't know how to explain it, like because like that, it's like ethereal. It's something really particular that we don't have something like that in the nowadays music scene.
Yeah, and it was kind of funny when I was working with the album and I played the tracks to my friends. They were like, "Oh, this part reminds me of Vartruna." I was like, "Who? Okay, blacklisted. I don't want to hear. I don't want. I don't want to know anything about them. I don't want to get any influences." And then somebody mentioned Hailung. Okay, blacklisted. I don't want to. I don't want to even check them out. And it was like every time when somebody mentioned something from this genre, I was like, okay, can't listen to that either. Then it was like, because I don't want to get any influences.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
your
that's so it stays that original. I went to see Hailong a week ago when they were playing in Helsinki, and it was one of the best shows I've seen in a decade, maybe. It was just mind blowing. But
and I think Kati as well can say something
I
about
knew it.
that. It's only me the one who didn't see it.
Yeah, it was just mind blowing. But yeah, and then we met with Kati, because Kati was the first one who basically playlisted any of the IANAI songs. So I was so excited, like, oh my god, somebody found my music. And then I reached to you, and I don't remember what I said, but I was just so excited. And then I found out that she makes music too, and she makes really cool music.
Yeah, that's something that I have to say about Kat, that she's really good-hearted and always there, like she was saying, to help other musicians, other producers all the time, and especially share ideas which are unique. Because the first, I don't know how long we take for our interview. Maybe it was like 1 year and a half. Kati, the first interview to settle. But then I remember that I was really nervous when we first made our first interview. That at the end I told her, I feel so relaxed. Are you a therapist? Because she's really good-hearted, she's really empathic, and she understands really the people. That's a gift that Katy has.
Yeah, she's amazing. I'm so blessed that I can work with her now with this project too, with IANAI, and it's been so fantastic, you know. And she's bringing so many great ideas and new influences, and taking this album to a whole new direction.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. Like I want every album to sound totally different when you compare them. So it was things happen the way they are meant to happen.
They are meant to be, of course. So basically, the involving of you, Katy, is after Sunir.
Exactly. Yeah, it was this thing, and I don't share everything I find online. That would be crazy. I would be busy nonstop. But what Ian and I did really sort of called on me. I was so captivated. And you mentioned, like, well, there is something of like some ethereal effect happening. And for me, it also really felt like, diving into this other world. There's this whole world. It has even its own language.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't take influences from only one culture. Like, for example, my music is very directed to Nordic folk music. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like boxed in a way.
Yeah.
But this is so broad. I mean, it literally crosses all cultures.
Yeah, no,
It
it's like
builds
Yeah.
bridges
its own
that way.
word, its own language, its own
Yeah,
not print, but its own languages in the music as well. Music and cultural, like you were saying.
exactly. It's like a world of its own. And so yeah, I'm just happy to partake and give a little bit of what I do into the sounds we are making now. It's really, really fun. But you know, it's also because it was already quite established with Sunir, the album, where I felt like, okay, this is great.
Like,
So
So the first time you basically listened the album Sunir, what was your impression, Kat? Really, like completely 100% honest. I mean, you're always completely honest, but like when you listen, what do you thought? What do you thought? What did you think? My English.
well, it's gonna sound strange, but the first thing I would say, I wasn't annoyed by anything. I loved everything. Yay! No, because usually I always have some sort of opinion. Really, it's annoying. But this was really pulling me in, and then of course there's the vocal quality, like what Jaani is doing with his voice. I think the only other similar experience I had was when I heard Lisa Gerard of That Can Dance sing live.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And she really like tunes into something. Like she's very static, you know, it's beautiful, like a queen, but there's something happening, like I call it channeling.
Yeah.
And so I felt that so much. And I think personally, I think that's what's happening also with Jaani, with this otherworldly language. And this, it's just something. It's really, really great to be able to put some instruments down for that. So
Coming back to the first album, Jaani, with Sunir, there are as well involved other musicians, as I read. Or am I wrong? Because I read was like as well influences of other musicians that joined you in the first album.
Yeah, there were like 30 musicians playing on the album. So, yeah.
It was like a whole festival lineup playing.
Oh my God! Yeah, and you know,
like, how do you manage all of this, like producing things as well?
Well, I hear the songs, so then I have to find out how to create them. So it was like, okay, I have this particular sound in my head. Then sometimes I really had to dig deep, you know, to find out what kind of instrument could create that sound. Then I had to find somebody who plays that instrument, and it was like, yeah, it was crazy. But I didn't do any compromises. Like I didn't want to use any samples or MIDI instruments. I really worked hard to find these musicians. And of course, I've been working with all kind of artists as a producer and a musician. So I know a lot of talented people. So I'm really blessed that way also. And I love to work with my friends. So it was always if a friend of mine came to visit me, like, what instrument can you play? Sorry, I'm not using any guitar. I don't use any guitars or bass on this album. But what else? And then like, hey, giving him mandolin. Can you play that? Okay. Or this is kantele. You can or kalimba or whatever. Then we're okay. Let me try. And then we're recording. So that's how it worked. Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive, and it's not as well usual. I mean, because always when a project started, there is like maybe 2 or 3 musicians involved. That could be like friend or musician from other bands, but that's it. But basically, you had really a lineup festival on your first work. But
yeah, and I think I played like 20 or 30 different instruments in the album also.
As well.
So it was, So it doesn't mean that I can play those instruments, but I managed to create some melodic noise in the album. That was meant to happen.
Just you create noise, but
because you know, it's always like I go go to places, and if I find an instrument, like, okay, I have to
Yeah,
buy
that-
this, and then I know that there is a song in this one, and one day I will find it, and well, these been in the many albums already, but yeah, I have crazy amount of all kind of instruments, and then it's just like, okay, let me try that, and and it really is kind of channeling, because I am in this really weird mode when I'm doing
Yeah.
IANAI, and I have that, channel open, and I'm
Yeah,
not
the
like
channel,
I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just creating, and I'm never second guessing anything I'm doing. I never look
Yeah.
back. Just like it's the process itself. Like the writing is super fast. It's like
Yeah.
it's just like it's like automatic writing in a way, but I'm just
Yeah.
do that with instruments and the vocals. So it's like it's so fast to have that first draft of the song, and then I'm just like, whoa, what happened? This is cool. And then
Yeah,
I start
Because what
working on it.
happened, I guess, as well, because being a musician, being a producer, you have already a view of what you want, what you feel and need as well. So for maybe you're a little more like you have a gift like that. When musician like you, okay, Kati, and other musicians have this gift, you take it easy to compose something and release it. But maybe, like you said, a lot of time because you want to do something that is well done, and especially this belongs to to yourself. Like as well, for
Oh,
example, yeah,
yeah, it's like, yeah, like I said, the writing process is really fast with this project, but then producing the album, like I have like 300 tracks in each songs, like it's crazy amount of all kind of, like, can be 100 tracks of percussions, and then choirs, and it's just insanity, but that's.
And if it should be like in IANAI lives, how would it be? Like in all
Well,
cities full of musicians.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
wanted to take it to stage at some point, right?
Yeah.
So it will have to be, I think, well, I think it should be pretty visual. Just
Yeah.
like Jaani explains how big the tracks are already. In general, it's just a big sound. So it will need to have a nice new live show.
Yeah,
We're
like
making it.
you're like in
Mhm.
a huge square, not a square, but like a huge venue. You're like a huge place with a good sound, like I don't know, a theater or something like that. And,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's like, I can't imagine to do this kind of music in a small rock clubs.
Yeah, no,
Mm.
I mean, it doesn't sound like that, and it doesn't give any credit to it as well.
Yeah.
No, and I've done that, been there, and I want to do this in a right way, because these songs, they deserve to be done in a particular way, where if we will take them on stages, and we will, but it will take a lot of time and effort, and we already have the live lineup and everything, but but it will take like 1 year of preparation to get the show finished, because it needs to be top notch.
Yeah,
everything about it.
And of course there will be as well Kati in the live show, of course, right?
Yes, well, of course.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but like Jaani said, it's quite some work to do this, not from scratch. Of course, the people that are going to be playing are professionals, but it all has to complement each other. So we will talk with festival partners and friends and venues. This is indeed, it's not something you play in a small club or on some outdoor, festival.
Yeah.
You need, you want to have the light show, you want to have the dark venue. So yeah, we'll work on that.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
a whole new journey.
Yeah, it's a new. It's like you were saying, it's like a new genre. It's like something, like I said before, like ethereal that can be labeled, because like that can be labeled. But as well, it's for your music as well, Kati. You before were mentioning that you are like neo-Nordic, but I guess that with the time you are like just the sound of Kati Ràn. It's not like neo-Nordic, folk Nordic. You have your own ethereal music too. So you adding
Yeah.
to IANAI, it's something that it's a plus. I have to say Jaani, because Kati, she has a gift, you know that. So
Mm.
her music,
Yeah,
her
yeah,
ideas.
Yeah,
It's
but
amazing.
this is the thing with with IANAI though, it does use also a lot of these traditional instruments, and that's
Yeah.
of course the background where I come from.
Yeah.
Whether it's a small folk festival,
Yeah.
or now even in the last 5-6 years we've sort of
Yeah.
breached into the metal festival, who have
Yeah.
completely embraced this kind of phenomena of groups that are not only playing as hard and as fast as they can, on
Exactly.
guitars, but also want to create a show where it creates reflection, where your heart and soul are also touched, and where
Yeah.
all these very nice and special instruments are visually shown. I mean, that is also something beautiful to look at on its own. And
Something.
then,
Yeah.
with IANAI, I think it's just more of an expansion of that. It
Yeah.
is completely different music of its own. Yet on the other hand, I really feel that people are actually very much more open than we may think they are.
Yeah.
And especially, at least in the festival scenes where I have been walking around for the last 10-15 years, the metal and folk festivals. So I could just immediately see like, oh, this stage would be great, and that's so I
Yeah.
hope
Of
of
course.
course we can do that. But yeah, that would be great.
So you already both work started to, you mean to work in some, I mean to move forward with IANAI new music, but because, or just your, just like talking about the live things, or you already started about working in material. Both of you.
Oh yeah, we are working with the second. We are working
Really?
with the second album. Yes, and yeah, we had really good recording sessions in Netherlands already with Kati
Yeah.
and
So
and I did recordings in Middle East, and I'm going back there, and then we're hopefully going to Norway, and we're, because with this album I want to combine this Nordic folk sound with
okay.
Eastern sound,
Okay.
and then take them into my world.
So okay,
Because
basically take the two words, but with the
I
with the
I will just
IANAI sound. Yeah.
yeah, I will just destroy everything, and then
So basically learn
let's see. Yeah.
and unlearn. Basically.
Because I don't need to be religious to any genres, because I just breathe music, and I love all kind of music. And my father was professional jazz musician, so I've been growing up surrounded with all kind of music, and of course he loved world music too, but to me it was like only like Dead Can Dance and that kind of stuff. But so I'm in a way I've been totally ignorant about the whole Nordic folk scene, and I'm totally fine with that, and because last years I've been touring the world with doom metal bands, for example, and my roots are in gothic electro music and gothic music and stuff like that. That's so it's, and you can hear all of those
of
influences.
course.
Yeah, and now I know that Kati is bringing those Nordic folk influences heavily into this soup, and I really embrace it. But then I have to have something like totally opposite. So now it's the Middle Eastern,
like the black and the white, and then you destroy both.
Because there are enough of these Viking bands already. So I'm.
I mean, just not I mean, Viking bands is another thing that maybe belongs to the past, but really long ago.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, I mean, but it's that the mentality of a lot of people that go to this festival, amazing folk festival. They think that it's all Vikings, that they don't even know what the Vikings are.
But also. Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, with these Vikings, if you really go deep into it, you will realize that they were heavily fascinated by everything that was fantastic and great and shiny in other cultures. They were traveling, collecting all these precious things.
Yeah.
You know, we find amazing glasswork, like in the highest bit of Lofoten in Norway, that's coming from all the way south.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter that there's a lot of people that enjoy Viking music. It's just that, well, for example, the fact that IANAI has no rules like that, and that we combine all these cultures, it's exactly the breath of fresh air that I personally very much welcome into this type of scene. Well, I would say the festival, at least.
Yeah, like this word, like they said.
Yeah, exactly. And I think in a way, it's definitely not preachy because exactly, it's not about religion. We're not a fan. But in a way, it is about bridging, the differences and seeing what is behind all of that and what unifies, to really reach out to the heart and soul and to have all these different cultural influences. And for me also to like go deep into this old text again. That's fantastic. So
It's been really fascinating for me also to learn about this culture from Kati.
Yeah, so basically it was like kind of exchanging of energies of
oh my
cultural...
God, and that's we've been teaching each other a lot, and I've been teaching Kati about like modern production things, and then Kati is teaching me like really ancient stuff. So there's a really cool balance. But but then we have this spiritual thing,
Yeah.
putting all together. So it's
that's really important because right now with all the situation that has been all around the world, I think that a lot of people are experiencing like a kind of a awakening. So they are reaching out for as well, like they are thirsty of music who can feed their own energies and soul. So music that can really help, like in tough moments or just even for meditation, something like that. And with Jaani, I guess like being an ethereal album, the first one, is really good for digging into your higher self, inner self, like a journey as well. So I hope the second one will be the same. I mean, I guess.
Of course, yeah.
And of course, well, we have the goddess of the meditation, Kat. With your I have to say, I told you in the message before, but with your guided meditation, for who knows, for people that didn't know, you released a guided Nordic meditation.
I did. I forgot.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing, and that helped me for my thesis. So thank you. I got graduated thanks to you. So
I think I'll do a few more of those because I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
but it's something else completely, right?
Yeah.
So it's not. Yeah, it's it will come on Spotify actually in a little bit of time, but not under my artist name, but just as a separate channel for guided meditations.
Yeah, but
it's
like a gift as well, because you have to let the one who is listening to you go deeper and deeper. The same thing is that with the music. So
there's some hypnosis techniques in there. So and of course breath work. So
with this gift you have, and Jaani music, you can basically will create probably some huge work in the future. So the second album we could expect like to be really like a meditative awakening journey, something like that.
Or they can be like a bonus CD with Kati's meditation lessons.
You will sell a lot of. You will make the fucking.
Just wait till I ask you.
Yeah, then we would actually start selling albums.
Actually Fedor from Theodore Bastard, he mixed my meditation track, and it's like 30 minutes long, and he was actually having trouble falling asleep the whole time. It's so built to push you and put you under.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And Jana is also featuring in the Sunir album.
Yes.
So it's basically a combine of really, it's you can say, I don't want to say project, how we can call IANAI, because project or band or just we can have to call
The
it in
world.
a word, the word
IANAI.
IANAI, okay.
World. Yeah.
And if we could choose, for example, a word to describe really this word, like an objective, which could it be? With the answer for both of you.
What I would
you and Yanni, yeah, of course, both of you, because you are both of you in Jaani now, so I can ask that.
If we take away the religious aspects from it, I would say heaven.
Okay.
Beautiful. In the broad sense, yeah.
And for you, Yanni?
Gateway, maybe.
Okay, that's
yeah, because that's how I feel it. You know, it's like, and that's where I have to get that I'm able to create this music. Like I have to get through that gate and into this world, and then I'm just kind of trying to capture it.
That's amazing, and of course, going there to the end of this interview, I would just want to know which are the next steps that you're going to take with IANAI. I mean, both of you. Like you mentioned before that you're gonna meet for, I don't know, for working in the second album. Just something more, I mean, like what are you actually planning to do?
Well, we are working with the second album already. Like Kati was just sending me some vocal tracks she recorded, and then I added them in my session and
so basically like now is already you're working to the second album.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, and we have a lot of people working with this project already, so it's so cool.
Yeah.
So people. So that's amazing, and I have to thank you, Kati, always for bringing like a calmness in everything. You should really get a licensed pet therapist, and you really will be like one of the top high-rated therapists in I think in Europe.
Yeah, you should go on tour with that.
I'll just sit in a chair on stage and talk everybody to sleep. Yeah, that's
after you play then.
Yeah, maybe after, because before the show it would, that would be bad. We would have really sleepy people there. But so it would be nice to, calm them down after a terrible show.
That will be good for the band that are horrible for life, but for good shows you can be awake.
Yeah, Kati can save it after the show. It's all good.
Yeah.
To rest.
Yeah.
So and what about you? I mean, Kati, of course we spoke about doing a further interview back then, but what are you doing right now with your music? If you can say something for your fan out there.
Well, what I can say is that I'm also heavily into the work of getting my full solo album done. So, but that's a big thing.
Yeah. That's a material for another interview.
Yes, it is. But it also stems a little bit forth from the contact and the flow of creativity that has been established with Jaani since last month, and this is just naturally, people have been asking and waiting for this for so long, so it's about time to start getting that done, and I'll gladly come back for an interview when that
of course. We spoke about as well how to do it, when and how, so that's gonna be another project, another thing that we will say later.
Yes.
In another time. So this is more for IANAI and you and Jaani being involved in this project, of course. So what can I say before we Zoom cut us? Just if you want to say something to people. Of course, we know that, Kati, you have a long following fans that when you are on interviews live, they just, oh my God, there is Kati Ràn. So just if you want to say a message to them,
no.
And then there's this Finnish guy ruining everything.
No, no. Jaani, you gain
No.
a lot of respect. You have a lot of respect for each, I think, people in the music scene. That's what I read around.
You know, it depends on where you're from, who's more well known. I mean, Jaani has done
A lot, yeah.
incredible amount of stuff.
Yeah.
So no, I would leave the words to you, to the project, you know, leader, initiator. For the last word, I think my words would be, I hope people will discover this too.
Yeah.
Because it really, you know, it's this classic saying, right? From the heart to the heart. So maybe it can help and touch more souls out there. And hope they enjoy it. So yeah.
That was amazing, Kati. And what about you, Jaani? What could you say to people looking at these interviews?
I don't know.
Hello. Thank you. Bye.
This is the reason why I wanted to be incognito with IANAI. That was the idea in the beginning. I didn't want to show my face or tell who I am, because in the real life I'm just.
I'm fine. You can just say even bye.
I'm a total disaster. So yeah.
Just say bye. That's fine.
Just listen to the album. That would be really nice, and a lot of love. That's always.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to you, Jaani, for really joining us, because I know you were working a lot as well, and as well you, Kati, for organizing all of this, because we have to say there is you behind all of these organizations, so you have to say thank to you a lot. And as always, you amaze me, Kati, and as well sooner the album amazed me as well. So hope to meet you, both of you, soon. I hope. We are planning something. We said before.
Next full moon? Yeah.
Yeah, next full moon ritual. We have to say it. We have to say it before ending that. Okay, thank you so much, both of you, and see you soon then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.